All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to. Well, I guess welcome to because if you're
Hello everyone,
what
and
can
welcome
hold on,
back
what is going
to.
on?
Well, I guess welcome to
He
because
wasn't even
if
ready
you're. Hello
himself.
everyone,
What?
and
Okay, whoa, what is
welcome
happening? What is going
to.
on?
Well, I guess
Yeah,
welcome to
that was a weird
because
sound.
if you're.
Bad
Um,
quality.
Okay, whoa,
is
what is
that coming
happening?
from your side, Smokey?
Is what coming from my
That
side?
was a weird sound.
What's that?
Okay,
Is
whoa,
what
Is
what is
coming
that
from
coming
my
from your
side?
side, Smokey? It is coming from your side.
I said what's coming from my side?
There's like
What's
a
that?
like a loop.
Is that coming from your side, Smokey?
It
No,
is coming from your side.
I said what's
No, I
coming
don't
from
think it
my
was.
side.
There's
It definitely isn't coming from my
Oh,
side.
I found it. I found the issue. Okay, wow, that was ooh. Okay. Anyways, yeah, there was like what I had apparently there was an extra tab open, and so I just started hearing a bunch of echoes. I was like, "What? Hello?"
Wow, so you
Ah,
just automatically go and blame me.
well, you know.
I know, right?
Anyways, let's try this again. Let's try this again. So, um, hello everyone, and welcome. Hi, Shadow. We are going ahead and picking back up from a one shot that we had started off air, but we decided this time around to go ahead and in addition to our audio recording, go ahead and put this on air for everyone who is our Patreon viewers and everything of that nature. And if you're, of course, following us on Twitch. We are doing a bit of a different situation here. We are running a little bit of a one shot. To explain a little bit of the backstory of a character in the main campaign. For those of you who are wanting to know, we are back in the land of Elsewhere. This is, of course, our main campaign that we are running. This is, of course, a little bit of an offshoot one shot, not particularly quote unquote tied to the main story of what's going on. We are going to be, of course, in the land of Atoa. Somewhere, if we're going to just zoom in for our live viewers, here along this mountain ridge of the Misty Forest Wild, somewhere in this area here, in between the city of Von Dun and the city of White Arrow, in an unmarked undisclosed city to, well, at least cartographers. But for our adventure, we are going to be actually rooted a little bit on the southern side of a waterfall, specifically the city of Farinberry. It's home to humans and a small handful of other races, led by the Lord Eustace. This, of course, was not built by a waterfall by accident, as it was a natural defense with of great importance to the people of this area. The town, of course, is surrounded by this river. They rerouted it around the city by skilled hands. And it's guarded by stone walls with 44 trained warriors that serve as the town's defense and a militia of about 577. Um, with all of this, of course, being said, we have already kind of dived in a little bit into this story, but you guys have not missed much if you're just now tuning in. The last time that we left our adventurers, which does consist of a well, it's a little bit difficult to describe exactly what Izzy Oddborn is, but most would compare him to a gnome. But depending upon what account and what person you're talking to, that may subject to change. But we center our adventure around Izzy Oddborn, a recluse individual on the far side of town who kind of keeps to himself, and of course our otter, Atlantean by the name of Sedgwick Blacktide, aka the Glacier. A well, I'm not exactly sure where he came from. He just kind of moseyed into town one day. But the rest is history. He runs a shop in the market square selling crossbows that he has honed and learned how to make throughout most of his childhood. And outside of that, the last time we left our adventurers, they were helping one of the residents get a turtle and a doll outside of a well when, apparently they fell in, dived in, should I say, and then were attacked by a snake down below, which led our two heroes to meeting each other. And after that ordeal happened, and Izzy ended up getting poisoned over the endeavor, he made his way over to an alchemist shop while our otter friend went back to his work to man the day. And we left our session on a bit of a cliffhanger. This cliffhanger was basically an earthquake that went through most of the city, and no one was injured specifically, maybe a little bit of property damage. Probably should call some sort of insurance agency to have your back in that situation. But now there is a purple energy kind of coming out of these cracks in the ground, and that is where we pick up today's session to continue this story. So I want to go ahead and ask you guys, let's start with, Mike, I feel like you've been rearing the go with Izzy there. I swear I can't. I think all this week I've been hearing about it. So tell me, what is Izzy currently doing at this exact moment?
He is strolling along on his way to Cedric's shop to see if he's doing all right after their harrowing encounter with the snake.
Wonderful. Okay.
And he is literally just strolling over big old cracks in the ground like they don't exist.
All right, wonderful. I'm gonna say that you make it over to this side of town relatively quickly with ease, and because at this point the earthquake has been over for a few minutes, there is no more shaking. It's just now there's just big cracks in the ground in certain areas of the city. So you make your way over to Segwick. Segwick, what are you currently doing in this exact moment? Now, I think to take a quick pause, I wanted to reiterate something that we had kind of talked about. Do you remember how much your crossbow was? Because that was something that was raised up last session. And if you don't know how much it is, it's perfectly fine. I can always pull up your character sheet and figure out how much I charged you.
You had me pay 200 at the discounted price because I was interested, because my character would be able to make it, but you were making me sell them for only 100.
Yeah, that guy really kind of got away there. Let's take a look here. So yeah, we were pricing those crossbows there at 200. Now this, of course, to our listeners is just a little bit of crunchy mechanics here. So don't mind us. We're just trying to make sure that said NPC that was negotiating a sale price for this crossbow didn't just walk away with it's just a blatant robbery. So give me just uno momento here. So crossbow hand masterwork sells at about 320 gold pieces. So I would say that even offering a discount, it should be nothing less than 300. So since you had already succeeded at that mission, I'm going to say that because he threw in an extra bonus there, I'm going to say 400 GP, just to keep things nice, simple, and smooth without getting too much into the schematics. So, if you haven't already, maybe you need a note card for that. You probably need a note card. Let me get you a note card.
I can't make note cards.
Yeah, I know. I'll get you a note card. Don't worry. Because I don't know why you can't. I don't. You know what? I don't know.
Because you don't trust us making things?
I don't trust anybody to do anything in this world. I don't trust anybody. I don't even trust myself.
Wow.
Why yeah, exactly. It's like I shouldn't, you know what? I shouldn't even have access to this world. Here you go. Delete. It just deletes the world. Deletes the whole world. I don't even trust myself. All right, anyways, here's a note card for you to add that 300 onto. So, outside of that, what are you Yeah, so what are you and Izzy doing now? Actually, there might be something. We'll tell you what. What are you guys doing, and then I will carry on from my side.
How do
As
I?
I said, would be making my way to his shop.
You had a question, Smokey?
How do I write on this?
It's a little tricky. You got to right click on it and then go down all the way to the bottom where it says name and then description. And then, yeah. Hopefully you have access to that. Because if not, I have no idea why you wouldn't. Okay, so yeah, you arrive, Izzy. You arrive at the location. And I think at this point, it's after the morning rush. The midday rush. It's after the midday rush, and I think at this current given moment in juncture, I would say that Segwig is probably closing down shop. Probably.
Did you say 4?
Sedgwick, excuse me.
I mean, like how much?
300 GP.
300?
Mm-hmm. Which is a bit over retail price because he was giving you a bonus because you were able to prove that yours are the best in the land. I think.
But
Or not.
300 is retail price.
No. Did I say 300? No. Hold on.
Like, specifically remember
Yeah,
that my character creation. Because you forget that I have a crossbow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's okay. So the crossbow heavy masterwork is 350 GP. So I think I actually said 400 GP is what I meant to say. Yeah. So 400. Because I discounted you down to 200 for yours because that's what I have your cost down here for on my character sheet. So yeah. So because I'm basically giving you masterwork quality price. Yeah, a little bit over.
I mean, I've been building for a while.
Yeah. That's
It
why.
may as well be.
That's why I'm giving you. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. So, anyways, yeah, 400 GP. Excuse me. I know I said the right amount earlier, but I just wasn't looking at the thing. So, yeah, what are you guys currently doing?
He said he's closing up shop.
Probably at this current point, because yeah, it's about the end of the day. Yeah.
I approach and I say, "Pardon me, little fella. Are you
Hey, it's
all
you,
right?"
Hey, it's you, Snakebite.
Oh, quite humorous indeed. Just
And my
no,
character's defense, that's the only way he knows you by.
Cast finger of death and kills the character over a joke. All right, guys, in the campaign. Can't take jokes around here.
I do an odd and strange bow. Due to my proportions, I do this. It looks a little weird, and I say, allow me to introduce myself. I am Easy Oddborn, of the Oddborns. I live on the edge of town. And, who might you be, good sir?
I am Sedgwick Blacktide. And I am
It is
not
a
sure why
pleasure
I'm
to meet
mocking
you.
your accent.
It's quite all right. I get it often. It is quite a pleasure to meet you. And he does yet another bow, this one a little deeper, and then he comes up slow, and he meets your gaze, and he's got that very Mr. Adams. What's his name? From the Adams Family.
Something
Gomez.
original character, non-copyrighted.
Yeah, Gomez. He's got a smile like the old black and white Gomez smile. And he does a little like tip of his glasses, and he continues. He says, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but and he points to all the cracks outside, He says there appears to be a disturbance, and it dawns on me that you seem to be the adventuring type. Am I mistaken?
Speaking of the cracks, by the way, sorry to interrupt, but so most earthquakes that I know, the cracks won't just be in like, I mean, there'll be the main crack, but there'll also be smaller offshoots. If this earthquake happened just outside, that isn't there a chance that the cracks also would have gone into people's businesses?
Tell you what, give me a notice check for that.
Okay, let's hope I have all the die that I need. I have a what is this? A D8, D. God, this is three. Oh,
Mike, why is your character sheet always giving me issues? I just want to know.
Why, indeed?
I don't know. It's just
Why? Why?
It's really becoming a
Man,
problem.
You're always thrown into oblivion. Never Morrowind. No, just oblivion.
Did you have the character? Did you have the dice you needed, by the way?
yeah,
Oh, right, Shadow. Yeah, never remove the bridge.
and then roll that again.
But what if the bridge is
So
struck by an
8.
earthquake?
So 8. I assume it was only a 4 to pass, and that means I got a raise on it.
Yeah. So, yeah. You notice. Here's what I'll say with an 8. You notice that okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about your backstory, right? For those of you who are tuning into our live TV, our televised broadcast, you can clearly see, of course, the map here. Now, for those of you, I think, who are listening, of course, on our audio format, you would already know this. But for those of you who are tuning in via broadcast video side, I think we had kind of gone over Sedgwick's backstory, basically being that he was somewhere off the Isle of Irasifa di Langosta, otherwise known as Lobster Reef, which is this kind of resort destination area. So somewhere in between of the wetlands of Mangrove and Arrecife de Langosta, you will find the Atlantean city, which he hails from originally.
A lost city of Atlantis.
Of sorts.
There the entire time.
Of sorts, the fantasy D&D non-canonical Atlantis that is not owned by the MCU universe.
Well, Atlantis isn't owned by anyone. It's a literal mythological site. You cannot own it.
Oh, well, you know.
The name cannot be copywritten.
That's hopefully the case.
Without violating multiple laws and possibly getting your company into deep trouble.
Well, you know, you never know. You never know with these big companies. But in any case, I digress. Yes, somewhere in between of these two locations, you will find this area. So, given this, the major point to cycle back to our main story, living in this underwater city and just having the education of how tectonic plates and things that work, you are correct. Normally speaking, there would be, you know, of course, one structured origin point. You would have, you know, that would probably be part of two different, of course, tectonic plates moving away from each other. You would have a whole bunch of property damage. You would probably split the city in half. But your careful observation and knowledge of this information does relay something to you, which is there is no centralized tectonical plate geographical way that this would have been possible. Something about this is very unnatural. The cracks seem to kind of form in different sectors of the city. They crack here and then they crack there, but none of them are necessarily connected to each other. They are all kind of just the ground splitting apart in different areas. Now, yes, of course, there is a bit of property damage. People did lose their carts. Some people did lose some of their sides of their businesses, but it doesn't really seem to be affecting many of the main businesses. Everything seemed to be, the damage seems to be very minimal. But these cracks seem to just kind of form throughout most of the city, and they are not natural. They seem to be something very strange about them.
I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I don't like these cracks. These are definitely not natural.
Oh, one could assume from the purplish, arcanic glow that resonated out from them when I was strolling towards your establishment.
I've seen stranger come from earthquakes, but this earthquake isn't acting the way it's supposed to have.
No, not at all. Would you care to perhaps join forces? Perhaps?
I guess
And
it would.
inquire about this? I'm in deep need of coin. Anything at all that could possibly lead to fortune.
And
Need of a coin. You don't happen to know this one catfolk, do you? He's always saying, "I have wares if you have coin."
And on that note, you hear someone you hear some commotion off by the main tavern. And you hear this commotion, and someone says, "This just in. We are currently taking donations to get the bridge fixed. As of right now, there is no easy way in or out of this city. We are also looking for skilled members to help with the repair of the main bridge. All are welcome. If you can lift a hammer or lift a stone, we need you. Or if you are willing to donate your hard-earned earnings to make sure that we can repave this road, all are appreciated." And you can see that this is coming from one of the town criers, basically offering up basically work for anyone who is interested. And now that it comes to your attention, you can see that the main bridge out of this road has been basically destroyed during this earthquake. You just weren't paying attention to it because it's on the far parsec of the city.
Oh, how troubling. Most, not pleasant. Oh,
All that's
truly.
all that's missing are the vampires.
Truly a most unpleasant day all around. And he just kind of brings his lip almost up, way too high, his lower lip, and he kind of smacks it. And he says, "Oh yes, would you mind accompanying me to the inn, to the tavern? I have a minor bit of business there, perhaps a bit of coin, but then perhaps we could investigate this disturbance further."
I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt. Unless you walk me right into a crack in the ground.
Yes, I would recommend we do not do such a thing.
So Mike, I wanna just kind of harken back for our audio listeners. This of course would have been something that they already know, but we're on a different day, and I just want to kind of reiterate something. Last session, you were tasked with by the main head chef of the tavern, name that I am eluding. Do you remember the name of that tavern? I do.
Mike.
No, the tavern
tavern.
name. The
Oh,
name of the tavern.
The Pink Harp?
Yes. The Pink Harp. Tavern name is, of course, the Pink Harp, which is now canonically wrote down on my character sheet notepad. Anyways, so Mike, the main cook, did task you with basically taking care of a couple of street merchants. Of course, there was, I do believe, what did we say? Blah, 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 blah. Hold on, it's in my list of things here. Oh, nope, I guess it's not. It's gone. Anyways, don't worry about it. So basically, I believe that there was 2 merchants, and then, of course, a
candy.
tiefling.
They were selling candy.
Yeah, tiefling bodyguard. One was selling candy, one was selling flowers. But basically, Mike was telling them to basically take a hike. The cook, Mike, not to be confused with the other version.
Wow, so rude.
But so with that being said, I just want to know, you had summoned a shadow assistant to a servant, a magical servant.
To deliver a letter. Yeah.
And what was it that letter specifically said? Do you remember?
Oh God, no, but it was very polite.
It was something along the lines of like, hey, we need you to move away from this area. It's causing issues, etc., etc.
It has come to, my knowledge that, what was it, in fact, like, it's come to Izzy's knowledge that their proximity to this establishment has caused a problem.
Exactly.
And he's like, I would hate to see it come to worse. So I have been hired to ensure it doesn't.
Yeah, and our
so like very polite.
And our audio listeners will have full playback of that. And editor, why don't you go ahead and play that reel? All right, wonderful. Okay, so now that I've made more work for my editor, anyways,
and then he even gave his name. Like, sincerely yours, Izzy Oddborn.
Right. Do a flashback, editor. We need like a flashback and make it like really cool. With like some really nice flashback music. I mean, this is all part of your job description, so thank you so much. Anyway, so back to the walks the freak out. So now that I've lost my editor and they have quit, so back to the main part of the situation. Which is, I think that they're still there, but I think that the main tiefling guard, who has, of course, read this note, does. I think he, as you guys are sitting there kind of discussing, I think he makes eye contact with you, Izzy, and walks over, the tiefling guard. The one carrying the big giant sword for recollection purposes. But what do you do in this situation? Do you let him approach you? Do you cast a fireball and instantly nuke him, and then I have to rewrite the story? Or what are you doing here?
No. Izzy just kind of walks to meet him.
Okay.
Slowly, very slowly. Very casually, very calmly. Oh yes. Did you get my letter? I assume.
Hail and well met, adventurer. Yes, I did get your letter. I actually had a few questions about it. If you have a few moments to chat, I didn't want to bother you earlier when you had sent your servant over, as it looked like you were on death's door heading over to the alchemist. But you look a little bit better now. Do you have a few moments to speak?
And I looked back to see if Sigwit is there.
And you realize that it is now nighttime. Everything's closed, and people are asleep. And Segwick is gone.
Wow! I moved so quick.
Just instantly. No. Yeah, Segway, what are you doing?
I mean, I had followed him, but my character has no clue what's going on.
Oh, let me just fill you in here. So the proprietor at the Pink Harp Tavern has apparently a small problem with these fine fellows being parked where they were. I was told there would be a reward for my intervention in these matters. Um,
Hmm.
I hope you don't mind, but I would love to have your assistance in this matter, fine fellow. As I look at my blue little otter friend.
I just finished polishing my crossbow and put it on my shoulder. Okay.
Well, fantastic. Lead the way, fine fellow. And I look to the tiefling now. DM?
I think we broke him.
So,
Oh no,
I'm
we
so
lost.
I am here. Sorry, can you walk me back that last 3.8 seconds? I had something come up.
I was talking with Smokey's character, and then I said turn back to the tiefling and asked him to lead the way.
Lead the way where? Is there specific? And it
I
don't
thought
don't.
he was trying to.
Oh, okay.
To, you know.
Okay, yeah. Fine. Okay, sorry, back in character. Yes, just over here, if you don't mind, just out of prying earshot. He leads you just more over to kind of like some. They're kind of like I would say like a cafe table, if you know, like kind of like outdoor patio tables. Imagine that, but like made out of wood, not metal and glass. These ones are made out of wood with some nice little structured chairs around them, with a parasol umbrella that is made out of thatch and hay instead of your traditional, of course, nylons, plastics, etc. And he sits you down, and I guess Segwig finds a seat somewhere or stands. I don't know what he's doing, but the point is that this tiefling sits down and he beckons for you guys to take a seat.
And my character looks at the chair.
Yes, this very noisy
please.
chair in the background. I am so sorry.
Yeah. He cocks an eyebrow, and he goes, Cedric, would you would like to have a seat?
I mean, I can always use another one for my shop.
Oh, quite the card you are. Oh, I see. Quite an interesting fella. No, I would prefer to stand, thank you. And my character's opting to stand.
And
Okay.
mine's just sitting on another table.
Okay, you see the tiefling shrugging. He says, So, first, can I offer you fine gentlemen a drink? It is a relatively warm afternoon.
And, you know, I think he will inquire, so, what do they have?
And with that, he says, well, it's more so about what I have. And with that, you see him flick his hands in what you guys would be able to see as an arcane gesture. And with that, two mugs appear. You do not see a third one for himself, and they instantly fill with the drinks that you are thinking of in your mind. And then he serves them to you.
Well, my character might be cautious, so he's probably thinking poison.
The non-poisonous version of what you would most be wanting in this given moment somehow materializes.
Turns out it's just us the poison.
You just
see my
really just
character
want that
reach.
poison.
He reaches at his wrist, and he pulls out what looks like a swab. Oh, if you don't mind. I just simply need to check the chemical composition.
You can never be too safe in this day and age. Please feel free.
fantastic. And he dips it in and gives it a little swirl and pulls out and takes a look at, oh, as it dissolves the Q-tip. Oh, fantastic. And then he takes out that vial with the gum and pours that all in. Oh, so we need to relive that for the audience.
No
So
need. Well, I
earlier,
guess
he
a little
was
bit.
at a tavern, and he scraped some gum out from the
That's
bottom
fine.
of the counter and put it into a solution that dissolved it, and he took a sip, which made the DM a bit queasy.
Yes, flashbacks over. Yeah, get back into present tense. So yes,
So
this.
I have poured that. I have poured that in to the mug, along with the what is actually the secretions of a beetle,
Fun. All right.
fermented
Mm,
secretions.
the best.
And he gives it a swig, a swirl. He gives it a swirl, and then he gives it a swig.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
gets the spot.
now that the pleasantries are out of the way, I will get to the point. First of all, my name is Damascus. It's nice to meet you. Now, could I get your names, please? I feel like we should introduce ourselves proper.
This here, and I gesture to Cedric. I say, this here is Cedric. What did you say your last name was, fine fellow? Of course, I'm talking to Cedric. What's Cedric's last name? Black Tide. Oh, yes. Fine, strong name. I am Izzy Oddborn. It is a pleasure.
It is nice to meet you, gentlemen. Of course, due to the nature of my people, I do not share a common last surname, but it is pleasure all the same. With that being with pleasantries out of the case and introductions out of the way, I am at a bit of a loss. You see, my employer, and he gestures back at the two other tieflings that are still passing out candy and flowers. Have, of course, to make sure that we are not in any sort of disagreement to the other business folks, have, of course, moved our shop a little bit more further out of the way. And you do see now that they have taken up station into, like, more so for the all intents and purposes, dead-end alleyway. But they're now kind of taking that dead-end alleyway and basically boxing themselves in such a way where their backs are to the back of that dead end, and then the rest of their shop is kind of like blocking that area. So it's kind of like a pseudo counter shop, if you can kind of understand like my headcanon here. So it's now on basically on the left-hand side of the street, and as opposed to on the right side, which was, of course, blocking the tavern. And he says, we have, of course, just to make sure to respect our other business folk, have moved our location. But now we seem to find ourselves in a pickle. For the most part, of course, with this bridge being down and this situation here with whatever is going on with this earthquake, my employer has no way to leave this town. And while normally speaking, that would not be a particularly inconvenient issue to a more brick and mortar situation, they do have, of course, family and stuff that does live on the outer sides of these walls. But most importantly, our city permit only allows for us to be in the premises of these walls during the working business hours of the rest of the town. So I'm not sure exactly what to do, and you seem to be a relatively skilled man, and of course your friend here, who are of course residents here of this town, and perhaps there might be something that you might know we could do, or maybe you knew somebody.
So, DM.
Yeah. There's a lot here. Yeah, continue.
My home, right?
Is broken and burning and on fire, and you hear the screams.
What's
What's?
Mine was
would that be a? Because it's on the edge of town.
It is on the edge of
Would
town.
that
yes.
be an adequate place for them to stay at least one night while we sort this out?
Yes, it is a, for all intensive purposes, 4 to 5 bedroom, triple decker building, with a place for a cart. So yeah, you could do that. It's got like a little bit of a stable there.
So I scribble down. I take out a small scrap of paper and I scribble down the directions and address of my home, as well as direction as to, any protocols or rules having to do with, like, don't go here, like, don't touch my lab, the volatile chemicals, etc., toxics, just, general overall rules one should abide by when being near a such lab facility as what would be in my basement. And, I kind of, like, jot out, like, what room they could stay in, etc. Just like really go into town with like some directions here.
And he
I hand it off to him.
Yeah, he reads it over and he waves his hand and he says, we don't need lodging, but yes, just a place to put our stuff would be perfect. We're gonna stay here at the tavern, so that'll be fine. Wait a second. Hold on. Really? Wait, are you next to Nora Highhill, the female halfling?
And he kind of grumbles a little bit, and he's just looking to read the guy's expression. I'm going to do a sense motive check.
I don't.
The equivalent of that. I think it's just a perception.
Squints. Eyes in savage worlds. Oh, it's. Hey. It's a check.
It is a check.
We'll just go with a notice to prevent my head from exploding.
I guess that he plans on doing something with her.
Okay, and let me see here. That is a D10. That is not a D8. This is my D8. All these dice look the same. Oh, that is an 8. That's another 8. And a 2. Okay, with such a high roll, what are you looking for? Could you?
I want to know his intent for this question.
He seems genuinely surprised and taken aback a little bit.
But why? Is this a good reaction? Bad reaction?
It's a good reaction.
Well, yes. I find her often prepared. She's the one with the pies, right?
Yes, the one with the brick cabin and then the white shingled roof. Yeah, moss covered walls. Yep. So, fun fact. So, I find this hilarious. It must be just a small world we live in. So, I'm actually the Crunch House. The one, the with the log and the single story building, black singled roof, roughly hewed wooden furniture. The one that you probably saw me out working on. And anyways, I don't get out much. I'm usually doing different things, so it's fine. But, yeah, I am literally your next door neighbor. So that's something. Yeah, so you're the black house, right? The one that's all black with, I don't even know what it is, tar? Pitch? It's very interestingly crafted. But yes, the black brick, the black pitch, the tar roof. Interesting choice indeed. Yes.
It was that way when I inherited it. Not entirely certain of its make.
Well, I tell you, that rain
my need.
That rain just flies right off there. Doesn't even stick on here. It's great. Out of character as a DM, why do I feel like this is like two dads just sitting there talking out there freaking yard?
Well, I'm just
I mean, it's his dad's house. He inherited it.
I'm just over here, just like, I don't even know if I have a house.
Yeah, we don't even know. We don't.
But we never gave my character
It's
a house.
mystery. It's a mystery. You will never know. We don't need to know.
It's a mystery to even you. As
At the end of every night.
as Segwig contemplates whether or not he is homeless or not, and just honestly can't remember, we tune back to the conversation.
Oh yes. Anyway, yes. So, what was it again that? I mean, and he kind of looks back at the other two tieflings, and what exactly is the quandary?
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding your dialect. Quandary?
Oh yes, the conundrum here.
Yes, we just need a place to store our cart for this evening. If we could store it at your residence, I of course don't have, the cart garage as the newfangled kids call it these days. But your house, of course, does. But mine, small, 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
All the better. Yes. Very well then. Yes. Tell them that they may store their carts at my residence. For the time being.
Wonderful.
Seeing as how my business has caused them a minor inconvenience as well.
Can we just?
I feel that it perhaps behooves me to look into this matter.
Can we just take a quick second out of character to acknowledge the fact that a 4-bedroom, 2-bath is now considered small in this world?
I mean, that's barely large enough to fit our group.
It's like, oh no, my 4-bedroom, 2-bath doesn't have cart access garages. Can't put.
As I said, that four bath 2-bed, it's got twice as many bathrooms.
Why so many baths? Look.
Yes. Anyways, let us carry on, shall we? All right, and so with that, I think Damascus.
My character bids him adieu.
Yeah, and I think Damascus bows to you, and he says, well, friend, hopefully we will run into each other here soon. I'm sure we will, since we're literally neighbors. But yes, until
one real quick.
sure.
So, and he gestures to all the cracks. You wouldn't have to have your own hypothesis as to the origin of this incident, would you?
Let me take a look. I tell you, I was, I've done quite a bit of traveling in my day, but let me take a look. Let me take a little bit of a look as I pull up his character sheet. No moment. So, as I'm realizing, I for some unknown reason do not have it pulled up. I don't know why.
By the way, you gave me the advice of having him speak a little quicker. Do you prefer his voice like this, or speaking a little bit quicker?
Yeah, I mean his voice is fine. Maybe speed it up just a hair, but other than that, it's fine.
I think I would lose it if I go any quicker.
Okay, then it's fine. Then just leave it where it's at. It's fine where it's at.
Yes, because then it would just sound like this.
Yes.
Which is literally just someone basically making fun of rich people voice.
Yeah. No, you're fine then. All right.
The love and the elegance.
So.
Just very elegant, yes.
All right, back in character. He says, "Let me take a look here and see what all I can ascertain from this situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and have him roll. Does he have anything in Arcana? He has. No, he doesn't. But I'm gonna have him roll anyways. Since he is a main character, he still gets to roll his d6s, which is honestly a game changer there. Like, realistically, the fact that you can take one or the other. All right, so he's gonna take that 3. He's gonna take a look at it. He says, "You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. These definitely don't look like normal makings of an earthquake, at least from what I have seen in my travels. But this purple energy, it's got that." And he kind of takes his finger out and kind of more like his hand, and he kind of waves. He wafts his hand over some of this kind of purple cloudy smoke that's coming out of it. He says, and he kind of tastes the air a little bit. He's like, I don't know if you can taste that, friend, or if you've been around arcane energy a lot, but there's something citrusy about it. That kind of electric zip.
As he says that, there should be some sort of inky black mass beetle-looking thing crawling along some part of me with a purple arcane glow within it. As they are constantly always scuttling about somewhere on my person.
Okay.
With purples, greens, and hunting reds and.
Yeah. So I'm rolling a notice check to see if he even notices that. He says, "Oh, I see you have a little arcane familiar friend there. So yes, you're definitely a man of the arcane. You know, you might be able to ascertain more of this situation than I would, but." Something that I have, I was in the tavern a little bit earlier, and hold on. Yeah. So I'll say this. He says I was in the. Actually, hold that thought really quickly. Just give me one moment. All right, and we're back. So, he takes a look around and he says, "I'll tell you, just between you and me, there is one thing that I do want to mention, and that is." I'm sorry, guys. I'm waiting for my my partners are talking. Okay, let's try this again. Take number 3, editor. Just cut all that previous bit out right there. All right, and action. So, what I will say is that I was over at the tavern a little bit ago, and one of the things that I did over here is that apparently underneath of this city there is catacombs, and I'll tell you, I don't know much more than that, but it's weird that a lot of these cracks and faults in the ground seem to be not structured in anywhere specific, which may point to something going on there. But I couldn't really tell you much more than that. But anyways, I should probably get along with getting my compatriots over to where they need to go. It is getting, of course, relatively late, and I'm sure they'd be wanting to get some supper around this hour.
Oh, yes, of course. Just wanted another take on the situation. Yes, thank you.
All right. Well, until next time, friend, may the Watcher guide you, and adieu. And with that, he walks off.
Cedric, good fellow, what do you make of this? Cedric, Smokey.
Huh?
He was asking, my character was asking yours, what do you make of this news? Of you all heard anything of this such?
My character's just gonna be muttering, it's the vampires. It's always the vampires.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. And perhaps you may be right on this matter, but I believe that perhaps maybe a little more uh, information is required before we jump to such strong conclusions. Although, however, I do hope it is a vampire, personally. Always wanted to meet one. Big fan, yes. Uh, love to study one.
Character's just gonna start staring at him warily.
Oh, if you do an insight check, you can tell that he means them harm. That was not a sincere big fan. That was like, you get the impression he wants to like cut one up and study it. Now, why? That's a different matter. But like, yeah, that's the impression you would get pretty easily. Well, so my friend, shall we continue to the tavern, or do you have somewhere else you need to be going at this hour?
I don't really got anything on my end.
Oh, fantastic. I believe it was 50 gold pieces. Yes. Let me just check my notes. Was it 50 gold pieces there, DM?
For which thing?
For getting them to move their cart.
Yes. Yes, it was 50 gold pieces.
Oh, yes, excellent. Let us be off then. And we make our way, I imagine, to stepping over all the cracks, etc., to the tavern. The Pink Harp.
And you fail on your dexterity check and fall into the cracks, and break your mother's back.
I did not hear a roll.
Without further ado, you make your way over to the Pink Harp, which is of course. Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting paid now.
You're not getting paid.
He falls into every crack. He intentionally falls into every crack.
And just like in the game portal, you are instantly teleported in front of the tavern doors to the Pink Harp, which is iconic because it is a actual pink harp that has been, for lack of better contextual words, bedazzled with rhinestones, and it is just very gaudy. You can't even look at this sign; it's blinding. It's hurting your eyes. So you quickly make your way in.
I always forget how dreadful that is. As I make my way in. Very like vampire with my foot pulled up over my eyes.
And I'm just like, wasn't there a different tavern here before?
Oh, yes, I do believe this is under new management, yes.
I liked it better before.
Oh, so did I. But all things must come to an end, yes. Dreadful. Oh, yes, and I stroll up to the bar.
And just a quick situation here. So Smokey, your character does remember the time when this bar used to be called the Peaceful Snakes Bar, but you're not sure if it went by another name. But you shrug and keep going. Anyways.
And as I walk up to the bar, I am gently running my fingers along, looking for any more filth that I might find.
All right. So
Find a bear trap.
you make your way. You make your way into this tavern. Of course, as we know, it was once a brackets, and it has a collection of arms and coats to signify its history. And it does, of course, when you first walk in, you're greeted by that set of gold scales, and then the familiar sense of cured meats and cheeses hanging from the ceilings, along with tonight's special dinner selection, which is the was and aromas of lamb casserole with hot, warm oat bread. And at this point, it is starting to get to late to midday. Most of the workers are starting to kind of come back from their tribulous days in the fields or wherever they find work in this city. And you can hear a little bit more of a lively jaunt than you are around midday. People are kind of sipping on some ale, excitedly talking about their day, and even more excitedly talking about the strange occurrences that have been happening around this city. And Minnie Fisher, the female elf, is as busy as always. Her and her other bar staff are hurrying to tables here and there. You see someone about to get into a fist fight, and Minnie just instantly steps in between of the two of them, and you hear her harshly talking to them, and they look very dejected, and they sit back down a little bit more embarrassedly, and she walks back to the bar. She makes eye contact with you guys, and she gives you a polite nod as she goes back to what she's doing. But she definitely seems a lot more busier than the last time you saw her.
All right, I spent 2 points to conjure forth one of my shadows, and I give it a little piece of parchment, a little scrap, that says, the deed is done, the task complete. I seek my reward, please come out front, Izzy Oddborn. And I hand it off to my inky shadow.
Hold on, quick clarification. You wrote this as a letter and you're handing it off to your servant, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Spending 2 more points. And I sent now you gotta keep in mind, like, this is very matching with his whole thing. Like it's a, you know, he's basically he has these like temporary tattoos that just kind of are on him in places, and he's basically calling them away to do this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you know, they're still inky, and they look like living ink.
I am going to have you go ahead and do an arcane check, of course, to make sure that you do pass that. So let's go ahead and make sure that, just in case, you never know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. So with that, yeah, your servant appears, and he takes said letter, and he heads into the back kitchen. Hold on, it sounds like the world is breaking. What? Anyways.
Oh, what's going on?
I don't know, something fell off the table. Anyways, carrying on. So the servant.
I'm picturing kind of like almost Heartless in shape, like one of the cool Heartless from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, like a little 2 foot, 3 foot nothing, running, just scampers behind the kitchen. You see, you do see that Minnie looks to raise a sword really quickly at this thing, and then she makes eye contact with you, and then she quickly sets it down, and allows this thing to go into the back kitchen. You hear a small yelp.
It's like a meeseeks.
Yeah, yeah. So you hear a small yelp and a clatter of what sounds to be some pots and the pans, and what sounds to be like something getting thrown against a wall. And then you hear the lumbering familiar voice of, "What in tarnation is sending out these here shadow inkling garbos in this my kitchen? These roaches." And you see the familiar soft but big sturdy frame of Mike come through the door. The gentle giant, if you will. And he pokes his head out and he looks around. He makes eye contact with you, Izzy, and he says, "Oh, it's you. Okay, I was thinking that I was getting attacked. Anyways, I think I got your note. You have returned, yes?"
Oh, yes. The deed is done. The task complete. They even apologized. They wish no hard feelings.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. That is great to hear. And I'm sorry, it's been my voice was a little gruff there. It's been it's been a day. It's been a day. It's been you know how it is. So, anyways,
Yes, it has. It has been a Monday.
we had this is an interesting term. Yes.
It just references a poor day. Most unpleasant, unwanted day.
Interesting.
It is from my home.
Hey, Smokey, what was the actual name of the Monday? Is it Moon's Day? Was it Moon's Day?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It's in my notes somewhere. Anyways, editor, make sure to put
It's
somewhere
meant to be an
here.
inside joke.
You know that the editor's not going to.
This will be me. So
But you're
me
probably
from the
going to.
future. If you could just take right here and just put in the proper day, and just delete all this nonsense hubbub about Monday. Or just leave it in if it's funny. Leave it in, always.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah.
Monday.
So, anyways, he says. So what is it that I had offered you? It was it 60, 70? I can't remember.
50, and I believe dinner, as well as ink sacks.
Oh, yes. I'm wow. You know, it just goes to show that you're a good person there, Izzy, because I tell you, I had you confused with my trash man who I pay a little bit more, so thank you for not taking advantage of me in that moment. Yes, tell you what. I noticed I have received word that the main way out of this city is blocked. Do you guys have lodging for the evening?
And I looked to Cedric, very confusingly, very inquisitively.
I can't.
I do.
How am I supposed to help with this? You still haven't gone over whether or not I have a home or not.
Out of character, you are not native to this location.
But I've got a main actual shop set up?
Apparently, you're a businessman after all.
Where the hell am I coming from then?
You've probably been most likely
From
staying
the waterfall. From the waterfall. He's coming from the fucking waterfall.
Tell you what, I'll make this easy for you. Mike makes eye contact with you and he says, familiar face. Yes, I remember you. You rented the room upstairs, correct? For 5 gold a night, right? How's life in the city treating you?
It's nothing like my hometown, but it could be worse.
Wonderful. Well, I hope these strange occurrences that are going through our city aren't making too much of an issue for you, though.
Well, where?
I'm sorry, I'm not. Where?
Yeah,
Where?
I'm squinting too.
I'm sorry, I'm not following. Well, anyways, I digress. But to listen here, the point is, tell you what, until this situation is fixed, if you don't have lodging for the night, we can give you a free room, at least for this afternoon, and then kind of go from there. And I think Mike makes a quick nod over to Minnie, and she leaves upstairs to go and prepare your guys' rooms. So what are you guys wanting to?
Mike, that occurrence that happened. Did you witness that? And the ground is shaking and crumbling in the purple glow.
No, I have just heard about it from passerbys from the inn. I've been much too busy in the kitchen to step foot out today.
What, might I ask, would be your, if you were to speculate on what may have occurred. What would you? I know people already do not think fondly of certain individuals who shall not be named, but feel free to mention any names you might think might be responsible for such an event. But what would you speculate happened?
Well, as a good businessman from one businessman to another, speculating doesn't come free in this establishment, of course. Tell you what, though, I'll make you a deal. If you can satisfy my wife by trying some of this lamb casserole
dear
with
sir.
oat bread.
Dear sir. I started tugging at my collar. Oh, dear sir.
No. You get the wrong idea, my friend. No. The lamb casserole is what you need to try with the oat bread. She makes it fresh from the oven. It's her special for tonight. So it of course would just be parting ways with one gold piece, of course. But I tell you, it is the best in town. If you want to try that and make her night for the afternoon, then of course I can maybe share some information.
Would this be in lieu of the octopus that I was promised, or in addition to?
Oh, always in addition, never in lieu.
Oh, very good, very good. So in that case, the tally is 49 gold pieces and one platter of this lamb.
Yes.
And, one bowl of octopus.
Yes. I've actually already prepared the. Wait, I thought I had already given you the bowl of octopus. Did I not give you
No,
the octopus pie?
No.
Oh, and I didn't give you the crowberry tart or the glass of whiskey?
No.
Wow.
Here, who got my meal?
Well, I don't know. Tell you what, I'll give you that one for free, because I don't know what happened there. Did you? Oh, that's right, you left relatively suddenly. Oh, silly mix-ups. Anyways, there's just a lot of idiot sandwiches back here in the kitchen. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, well, I'll go ahead and get that octopus pie and crowberry tart and that glass of whiskey out to you. And maybe your friend might like this lamb casserole. So I'll get that all whipped up for you. And you see him calling to another cook staff in the back, so that we don't have to go through these charades in the back kitchen. And they go ahead and set down your order, which I am writing down. Give me 1 second to write down this very complicated situation that is happening.
Yeah, definitely.
I sent you a picture, by the way, because...
Okay. I will check it in a bit.
And my character does have every intention of sharing this meal.
All right, octopus pie. Okay, so I'm just...
Cedric.
Let's see here. Izzy gets. I'm not adding to your character sheet the lamb casserole or the octopus pie or anything like that, because those are consumables, just out of character. But you are getting, how many ink sacs did he say? Did he say a number? I don't think he said a number.
No, he did not. He said he has a lot to waste.
Yep. I'm giving you, so you're getting 50 ink sacs and then 49 GP for the pay of the task. Okay, carrying back on with story. But he says, well, now that that's out of the way, yes, I do have a little bit of information that I have heard. Well, let me ask you this, so I don't bore you to death with history of the town. How much do you know about our good old city here of Farenberry?
I believe that would be a roll, DM.
Yes, it very muchly would be, wouldn't it? Let's take a look here. So that would be a common knowledge, which you're actually at a D4 with.
Since I'm there, I technically probably
You
as well.
you could roll. You can both roll. Yes. So you've got a 4 with that. So that is actually you have just about decent knowledge to answer the question.
Oh, I almost failed my knowledge check.
Oh,
Almost.
you forget how to talk in common.
Oh, dude,
I just
oh
started
God,
speaking.
I'm a stroke.
I just started speaking Atlantean.
Yeah.
So what'd you roll? Oh, Smokey, what'd you roll?
I got it too.
Okay. So general knowledge. Well, lesser than general knowledge. I mean, you're not a native to this city, so that makes sense.
Well, a 4 would technically be general knowledge. A 2 is like.
Yeah. So Mike, to answer your question, Izzy has common knowledge of the city. So, I think Segwick has a little bit less than, but you kind of know like the generals. So as far as everything that I've already gone over. That the town is surrounded by the river. It's guarded by the stone walls. You got soldiers, good defense there. You know that things about the engineering and stuff of that nature. I think like intricacies, like what's up with the king, or where's the etc 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 eludes you. But the generals. So I think to this, that's going to be like your short answer that you respond to Mike with. And so Mike nods. He says, yes, of course. The stuff that they have, of course, on the good old travel brochure when you walk into the city, of course. But let me tell you a little bit about something that I personally know. You see, what a lot of the inhabitants do not know about this city is that it was actually built on a crypt. More so, specifically over a crypt. At least this is what I hear from the locals. And to the best of my knowledge, our city hasn't always been in good graces of respecting the dead. To elaborate on this, of course, more so being that when the building plans for this city went in place, there were quite a few of these said crypts that were just built over. And I tell you, there's a good old wise tale that I've once heard from one of my patrons, and they once upon a time said to be careful when messing with the dead, unless ye want negative things to affect you later on. And I tell you, this is of course my speculation, but I sure hope that whatever's happening out there is not, of course, linked to that. But what do I know? I'm just a cook, I just make the food. I'm just an old man who makes the food. What can I say? And with that he chuckles.
So, oh, let us assume for 1 second, okay, that there are indeed catacombs beneath us. Can we all come to this joined idea? And I look to Cedric and I look to Mike.
I think
kind of acknowledgement to that statement.
Mike just smiles and he nods. He says, yes, on speculation as to where the entrance to said catacombs would be. That is the bigger question, I suppose, isn't it?
I may have some ideas. We do have a rather extensive cemetery, not too far from. Can we assume that like my creepy ass house is like a little bit too damn close to the cemetery?
Oh, I mean, always.
Yeah.
This
Um,
house is the
I
cemetery.
imagine that such entryways would probably be found in such places as to where you bury the dead. I would assume. Cedric, what do you weigh in on this?
Well,
Cedric?
I haven't seen your place, so I can't really judge that. Uh, I don't I know nothing about this place.
But, oh, okay. Well, I figure this is as good of a place to start as any. But perhaps it would be better to take care of. How should I put this? It's not good to build on top of shaky ground. Yes. Can we come to agreement on this?
I mean, that, of course, would be, I mean, quite plausible, of course, to most of the followings and teachings of the old, of course.
Well, so, Cedric, if we were to assist in the reconstruction of the bridges, and then said a secondary earthquake was to happen, would not our work be folly?
I mean, it depends. We could build the bridges to withstand it.
Oh, I have no such knowledge. Do you?
No. Just dejectedly.
Looks at character sheet. No, construction is not a skill that I have. I
So,
lack the building
believe-
skill.
I believe that we would have better use of our skills if we were to perhaps resolve this issue as opposed to trying to assist in any futile efforts that we are ill prepared to do. Um, but yes, I think we should call it a night. What do you say there, Cedric?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, very good. Let us make merry with what remains of the evening. And with that, I think we'll make use of the facilities here and enjoy the evening before we think to perhaps head out to seek for this entrance to this crypt.
Okay, so are you, are
That's my
you...
vote.
Okay, so you're going to be going ahead and, of course, selling in for the evening, and, I'm assuming?
My vote is yeah, like enjoy the evening at the tavern, eat my food nice and slowly with my little blue friend here, sharing the food, and then go on our separate ways for the night.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. And I think that do you guys partake in any of the late evening activities? For example, darts, drinking, arm wrestling,
Oh,
any of that?
oh yeah, that's yeah. I mean, not arm wrestling, but perhaps perhaps
Friendly game of darts.
a little bit of merrymaking. Oh, I would not be darts, but I'm sure my little friend here, who might be good at throwing things.
Well, actually, my character has absolutely no skill in throwing things.
You actually see you actually do see a familiar face. You see much to, of course, the dismay of some of the other patrons, but he seems to be ignoring them. You do see Mr. Green, the local alchemist who helped you with your snake bite, throwing some darts at the local dartboard, and he seems to be challenging a couple of people in some friendly matches.
And I need to mention this very carefully. During the events of the evening, I do sneak away from time to time. I conjure forth 2 zombies and task them with finding the entryway to the crypt.
For that,
Make their way carefully through town, drawing no attention.
right?
And going to find the entryway to the crypt.
Yes. Well, we're gonna have to take a quick gander at your.
Staff.
That is the staff. Yes. Let's take a look here.
The staff of infinite power.
Let's take a look at your staff and figure out what that all entails, because that is not on the main character sheet that I have, but I have it here in my archive of other things here. So give me just uno momento.
But yeah, my character has absolutely nothing in throwing.
I mean, that would be shooting. That's shooting.
Yeah, that's a shooting thing at that point.
You don't put darts under shooting?
That's where I put that under.
Okay. In that case, he's definitely gonna do it.
Right?
Now, if you're talking like throwing a knife or a chair or something, then yeah, that's throwing. But no, this is more aiming. Zombie with permanent 3 charges. Now that's. What does that? See, now what does that mean? These are the.
It means they're permanent. They don't just disappear after a few seconds. They stick around until they're dispatched. That's usually what permanent means in these kind of situations.
Yeah, here we go. Zombie grants animation and basic intelligence of the remains of a once living being. The summoned horror is obedient but lateral-minded on its duties. It isn't telepathic and must be controlled by voice. This being has physical skills it had in life, but its smart, spirit, and related skills are reset to D4. Now, animals and other creatures may also be raised with this foul ability. The cost is 2 for a creature of size of -1, etc., etc., etc. So I guess the real question, and also this begs the question though, how this of course works when you're using this staff is you have to cast it on a recently deceased entity. That is of course the parameters of the spell. Otherwise, I mean, that would just be willy-nilly craziness if I just allowed you to cast zombies from literal thin air. So I guess the big question
Like
is
a video game.
Yeah, like a video game, like a crazy person. So I guess we can't of course go by video game logic. That would be too easy and simple. So the question is where are you getting these bodies from, Izzy?
I mean,
Don't worry about it.
people die every day, man.
What is that? Stabs man in neck. People die every day. Every
just like
day.
people are just watching the guy fall over and die. You're just like, don't worry about it. People
No, he's fine. He just stands back up. He just stands back up immediately, slack-jawed.
Sorry, I was testing my knife to make sure it was sharp. Apparently it's still dull. Now this guy's fine. Okay, so...
I mean, like, I imagine, like, every medieval city, there's always a problem with, like, getting the dead, the recently deceased, out to the cemetery quickly, or to be,
Tell you
buried.
Why don't we roll a common knowledge check on it to see where this seems like a common knowledge check roll. Let's take a look here.
I already personally had an idea that would have solved this issue.
So you've got a 5, which of course -2 would be a 3. So I think that you know what? For this, I'm just gonna roll a quick D20 because that's what I do. I'm the D20 roller. Nobody else is.
There should be an Undertaker somewhere in this town.
Ho! You're in luck. I rolled a 19. All right, so here's what I will tell you. Given these combination of rolls here, you're wondering this thought to yourself, and you're like, where? I really would like to send out somebody to be able to assist me in this endeavor, stealthily. But where? Where can I find a body? And you're out. I'm just gonna say you're out in the back of the tavern, kind of enjoying the night air, having a smoke of something. Who knows what you're smoking in that mysterious pipe of yours that we talked about in the previous.
I have found some insect remains. I have
So
put them
as
in some
Insects.
bad paper, and I'm burning it.
So, as I said, who knows what's in there, but we probably don't want to know. And as you're smoking said thing, a man is walking by, and he's eating a chicken wing, and starts choking, and then just instantly drops over and dies right before your feet. Just doesn't move.
Oh, fortuity. And I bop him on the head with the staff, gently. And he...
Cracking his skull.
Just wake up!
No, just a bop. Just a bop. Wake up, you lazy bones, and get to work. Arise.
He just complains, but I just died!
There's like a lump in his throat of like a chicken wing gatruding.
Yeah, very Beetlejuice.
Oh, awful. Okay, well, we know where the body came from. So, anyways, you do etc., etc., etc. with said situation, and off it goes. I won't.
Well, I do have one minor. Due to that piece of paper that I had folded up inside the mouth, it has one task it must fulfill before it does this, which is it must find the one responsible for throwing the boulder and
For
deal with them.
throwing the boulder.
For throwing the rock through the window
Okay.
at the
Okay, so you're giving it.
That was my.
You're giving it. Okay, this is classified as an NPC for all intents and purposes in game and out of game. So it is not going to wild card. I'm going to have it roll a smarts roll. It got a 2 minus -2. Okay. It goes and then walks away.
Yeah,
May never
it's just
see
kind of
him
like.
again.
Yeah, it's kind of it's the thing where it's like it's drawn to the scent.
It's not a
and
revenant.
if he's on that.
It
but-
is not a
but-
revenant. It is not a
Except
revenant.
It completely
No.
failed its...
Oh yeah, but it's more likely to do the thing I told it to do right now because I actually use words as opposed to an intent that I had.
Well, I suppose we'll find out later. So time passes. Said creature doesn't come back.
I mean, I keep going back in and going back out and checking.
Yeah, you don't see it for the rest of the rest of the night. Before here's what I'll say. Segwig, what are you doing before you go to bed?
Oh, I'm definitely doing darts.
Oh, okay. Do you challenge Mr. Green then, the dark elf?
I may as well.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look here, and I'm just going to let's see here. Let's get a quick character pulled up here, shall we? Character builder. Yeah, like give me this 2.8 seconds. Okay, cool. Sorry, I just had to get some stats going. So yeah, Mr. Green sees you walk up and he says, "Oh, by the Watcher, are you an Atlantean? Haven't seen your kind since the war."
I am. I'm shocked to see someone who knows what I am.
Oh, us dark elves, we know quite a many of thing or two. Just no one unfortunately pays us mind when it comes to information. But I digress. Would you fancy a game of darts? I'm trying to kind of take my mind off of the previous day's events, and I've been looking for a good challenge. I hear you guys are pretty good marksmen.
I would.
Wonderful, wonderful. Would you like to do best of 3?
Whatever's good with you.
All right, best of 3 it is. All right. So how we're going to structure this this small little mini game is, I've got a dice here in the middle of the table of here, of course, to represent the 3 rounds. I am, of course, got my good old friend Mr. Green's stats pulled up, and he beckons for you to take the lead. And how this is going to work is, of course, you're going to roll on your shooting. Okay. And depending upon how close to the said target number we get will dictate how many points you will be ahead of, and I'll figure that out later. So why don't you go ahead and give me one roll for your shooting for your first dart. And you get 3 darts, just so you know.
Yep. Oh.
But give me that first number there. And hold on. Actually, hold that thought really quickly. Let me do myself a favor here and get a brand new notepad here, because boy howdy, doing that on my mind is not physically possible. So give me just 1 second. All right. Look at me creating a mini game on the fly.
So, just so you know, DM, his original intent was to raise some sort of like dog and give the note to it to smell, and he had completely forgot about that note sprinkled up in there. So that was. I wasn't thinking a remnant. I was thinking a dog.
You said you got a man that choked on chicken.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was just like,
I can't let that fucking slide. I was like, that was the original intention of putting it in there. Was it was going to be the zombie that I raised was going to track that guy down. I can't change that.
yeah, no, I got you. I just was like, wait a second, you're describing a revenant, and that's not how this works. All right.
No, it was like smell and my intent.
All right, so I've got my rounds pulled up here, everything typed up. So let's go ahead and I think we're gonna go ahead and do a cumulative. Well, don't worry about the specifications. I'll figure it out. So go ahead and give me your first number.
Wild die included?
Wild die included. Otherwise, it would be don't add them together. Just take, of course, the highest. Yep.
So, first one's a 7.
7, you say? Okay.
For a moment there, I thought it was a 1. And I was like, oh no.
Give me uno momento here. Just trying to find which one is the dice that I'm looking for, which I do believe is this one. Yep, it is this one. Okay. So you said that you had rolled a, what was it again?
7.
A 7. Okay. 7. And where is my Okay. All right. Wonderful. So, your first roll of the evening is a 7. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have Mr. Green go ahead and throw his dart. Actually, no. Let's go ahead and roll your second one.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to make this very confusing.
And that's an 8.
Okay. Nice. So 1 raise.
And roll my third.
Go ahead and roll your third. I feel very proud of myself that I'm managing a minigame. Continue.
And that one's just 4.
Just a 4. All right. Again, 4. Okay. All right. Wonderful. So now it is Mr. Green's turn. Nope, I'm not using that dice. I'm going to use this dice. Okay. That is a 7. So for their first roll, they rolled a 7. So I think for that first dice, they are tied with you. So 7, and then for their second roll, or throw, should I say? Ooh, that was a good one. All right, they got pretty close to the center of the board there. They got a 9 for their second roll there, and with 1 raise. All right. Technically, 8 and the 9 are theoretically the same number because it really only counts as the 1 raise. So that's interesting. So far, they're expertly they are expertly matching you point for point, which is very interesting. I've never seen this in anywhere. But let's take a look here. Ooh, their last one, they did get a 6. So, 4 to the
Which technically means that they did the same thing.
that
doesn't give them a raise.
Yeah. So technically, in 1 raise, and they got a 6. All right. With that, and I'm going to fix the way that I have this structure because it is god awful to look at on my screen. There we go. That's a lot better. I can do it that way. For those of you who are listening via audio, as of right now, I'm just trying to make sure this all looks good here on my side for how this round is set up. So, the total results for round 1 is we've got a 7 to a 7, a raise to a raise, and a 6 to a 4. By all accounts, at this current juncture, it would technically be a tie, but due to point structures on, as we know how how darts would work. Let's see here. 7 to 7, of course, is a match. But technically a 9 to an 8, the 9 would win as far as point structure goes. So they did win that first round there. So the first one goes to Mr. Green, and he smiles at you. He says, "Tell you what, if we weren't going by point base here, that would have been a tie. Good job, good show there, my friend. I suppose it is true what they say about the Atlanteans, but I guess the bigger question is Atlantean versus elf. Now, we're good with our bows. So this really is a battle of the ages, I suppose you could say." So round 2. I think Mr. Green is going to go first this one since he is leading. By the way, Smokey, is that a safe judgment call on how the point system would work? Are you upset about this?
I'm just over here trying to figure out what kind of shooting he's got.
This is the great question, isn't it? Ooh, wow, that's... It's not snake eyes, but it is a double number that I've never seen that before. All right. Ooh, okay. So the first one misses and hits the wooden board next to the darts, and he says, that's a first for me. I must be sipping this brandy a little bit too hard." So for the first one, he is going to get a 3, which is a fail. And for his second dart, there we go. That's a little bit better. For his second one, he's now on the board, and he got a raise. So he did actually get a pretty good point there. He got a 8. So he says, there we go. My aim came back a little bit, but I sure hope that doesn't come back to bite me. But I suppose we will find out, won't we? And then he's going to go ahead and take his last shot. Whew. All right, that was almost double ones. The other one just flies off somewhere. He says, "Oh wow, what in the world is happening today?
It spears someone's hat.
It does. It spears somebody's hat to the wall, and he says, wow, my aim is there, but apparently not on the right target. I apologize, good sir. My apologies." The patron gives him a dirty look and takes his hat and tosses him back the dart. So with that, he got a 2. Maybe it was not the best that he went first. So all right, go ahead and give me your first roll.
Okay.
Can we just take a quick timeout here? Is this not the best way of doing darts in D&D, like Savage Worlds?
It probably is.
Like, I literally just thought of this on the top of my head. I'm very impressed with myself. Anyways, all right, back.
Remember how you got double 3s before?
Yeah.
Well,
I got double 5s.
Ooh, okay. All right, so you got, of course, a 5, so...
Which means my first dart hits.
Yes. All right. So you got a 5, so you're beating him in the points game. And he says, "Ooh, look at that one. That was a pretty good one there." All right. Go ahead and roll your next one.
And that's a 10.
Ooh, okay. He says, "Wow, jolly good show. That's almost a bullseye right there. Amazing."
My character's just like having to show.
All right. Can we just say that any raise is classified as a bullseye just to make this audio pleasing? He says, "My goodness, that was dead on target. Amazing."
And then my final roll. Ooh, and I get to re-roll this with my wild die.
Ooh.
I get to re-roll it again.
Oh, wow.
16?
3 raises. My gosh. I think this one is just like dead bullseye.
Like, there's like no closer to the center possible.
I think this is one of those cool moments where, like, you know, in like Robin Hood, where they send the arrow through the other arrow. I think that's what happens. But this, of course, was with the darts, and I think he's like, "My goodness, I didn't even know that was. How is that even possible?" bar staff, could we get another dart over here? We're down one. And the bar staff's like, how did you, you know, I don't even want to know. I'll go get you another dart. Walk away. All right.
Because, so I actually rolled 6s on both of my die, which then caused me to re-roll my wild die, which I got another 6. So I re-rolled it and got a 4.
All right. And so, without even having to look at this, you won this round, fair and square. So, with this, the bar staff comes back with a new dart, and they hand it to you a little bit annoyedly.
If I keep this up, they're never gonna want me back here playing darts.
With that, we're gonna go ahead and say that you're gonna start this next and final round. And Mr. Green looks at you and says, "Well, I suppose this really is the battle of the ages. It looks like at the end of the day, this is winner takes all. I suppose. I mean, we're not really playing for stakes here, but still, this is quite the adventure for this evening. So I am all in on my investments, figuratively, of course." So, give me 1 second because I have to fix something here. And delete that. And just switch that over to round 3. All right, and cool. Perfect. Back on track. So, Smokey, you're going to go ahead and go for the first roll here. Go ahead and tell me what you got.
Well, and a 10.
All right. So you get another. You just get another nice bullseye there, and he says, "Wow. All right. You're coming in pretty hot there. I'm a little intimidated." All right, so that is a 10 with 1 raise. All right, go ahead and give me your next one.
This one is just a 5.
Okay. And he says, so that one just hits on the board. He says, all right. I feel a little bit more confident. I don't know. Honestly, I'm very nervous. I don't know where I stand anymore. Carry on with your last one.
And that one's an 8.
All right. Coming in hot again with that bullseye. Okay. All right. I've got some big shoes to fill here, Mr. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Now that I think about it.
It's Blacktide.
Ah, yes, Mr. Blacktide.
Sedgwig Blacktide.
Ah, yes. It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. My name, of course, is furiously going through said notes.
Don't worry, I had to do the same thing.
Citro, excuse me. My name is Citro. Citro Green, but my full surname is Green Bottle. But of course, I always change it to Mr. Green for schematics, of course. I run the alchemist shop down the ways. So yes, very good pleasure to meet you, sir. So, anyways, what did you roll? You rolled an 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 8 with 1 raise. Okay, let's see what the dice have in store for Mr. Green, aka Mr. Greenbottle. What an interesting last surname.
Crit fail.
Okay, he got a 5, so he's doing decently.
At least patched my second shot.
Yeah. So. Ooh. Okay. Got a 5 again. He says, "Ooh, darn it. I hope that doesn't affect me in the final tally, but we will see." And then he got a 9 for the last one, which gives him 1 raise. And see here, 9 with 1 raise. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here and see what happens. So you got a 10 with 1 raise. He got a 5. You both got a 5. He got a 9 with 1 raise, but you actually got an 8 with another raise. So at the end of the game, you ended up winning. And he takes the darts and puts them away. He shakes your hand and he says, "A fine show of marksmanship there, my good sir, Mr. Black Tide. Quite the endeavor there. Great game. It actually really helped get my mind off of the prior events that transpired today at my shop. So thank you for the restoring the little bit of faith that I have in the game of darts. But if it's not too much trouble, I think I'm going to retire to my room. Unless you needed anything additional."
No, that's okay with me. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, you have a great rest of your evening then, Mr. Blacktide. And as always, may the Watcher watch over you. Good night, sir. And with that, he retires to his room. I'm surprised nobody out of character has asked who the Watcher is. Anyways.
Also, is Mike still the call?
Let's see here. Gotta go for a little. Yeah, he is gonna. Oh, okay. Well, you have a good rest of your night, Shadow. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let's take a look here. Yeah, just a quick head count here. Are we missing somebody? I think so. I think Mike did actually get dropped from the call.
Oh no!
And look at that. We are actually at an hour 57, so this is actually perfect. So I'm going to bring him back into the call, and then I think we're going to go ahead and do our closing bit here.
I'm here.
You missed the
I'm
entire
here.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, remember, I did say I wanted to call 2 zombies, so the second one is going to definitely be an animal.
Okay. Yeah. So you send an animal out, and
This one I definitely like. No, just go find the entrance. Forget about the note. You know?
Okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna write that down. Izzy sends a zombie to go. And I'm not even going to keep track of these charges because they reset at dawn, so it doesn't even matter. Izzy sends a zombie to go find the man who threw the note, and another dog. Oh, sorry, and a zombie dog to go find the entrance to the crypt. Now, I'm going to go ahead and roll this one, but I will allow a D6 wild dice for this one because all dogs do have heightened sense. What are you doing specifically to make this work? Is there anything that you're doing specifically?
I am going to sort of like meditate my energies, focus my mind, and then I'm going to speak very clearly at the zombie dog, and find more of your kind, more of the undead,
Okay.
and follow them to their source.
The slightly dilapidating pooch takes its limp jaw and kind of does a and almost like a choking bark, as if it's choking on its own tongue, very kind of disturbingly, and wags its tail and runs off. And you have a good sense that it knows where it's going. With that, as both of you retire for your evening, you're getting ready. Let's just say, you're fixing your hair or whatever you're doing, and you get yourselves tucked into the night. And you notice that there's a viewing mirror, or not a viewing mirror. How do you say? There's a mirror that is like for it's one of those mirrors that go to the floor, that are on like kind of the pedestal. The dressing mirror. That's the word I'm looking for here. So you see a dressing mirror at the foot of the bed, and you don't really pay it any mind, but as you're getting ready to tuck yourselves in for the night, both of you see these are two separate rooms, but both of you do notice this. And however you notice it is, of course, up to your own interpretation on how you would like to tie in, of course, those loose threads there. But regardless.
Wait, I'm at my house. He's at the tavern, and we both have identical mirrors.
No, you're both staying in the tavern for the afternoon.
Remember, like,
Yes, Mike gave you free room, so yeah, I'm taking liberties here and railroading the story a little bit and saying that you both are sleeping at the tavern. And we could say that maybe, you don't want to disturb your other guests or whatever. I have to keep it pushing. This is our closing situation. Anyways, yes, railroads and broomsticks all forward ahead. The point is that where is it? Because I've now lost my place. Here we go. You do not notice your reflection for a brief moment in this mirror, and you think maybe it's a trick of your eyes, so you go back and sure enough, you don't see your own reflection. But what you do see, and this is just for a small fraction of a second, is a glimpse into a shadowy realm. You see darkened trees, you see overcast skies, but most importantly, you see a pitch black castle covered in fog and very, very difficult to make out. But for a brief second, as you peer into this a little bit more deeper, you see what you believe is in the window, a shadowy figure. And you see a glint closer to where this form may have maybe their head, but it's so far away that it's hard to even see. Maybe like a metallic glint, like maybe like a glass or like a spyglass, something. And just before you can even really kind of comprehend what you're seeing, it's gone. And now you're looking back at the reflection of yourselves. And that is where we will end today's session.
Oh, good heavens.
Well,
What did he put in my drink?
first off, before we end, my character's just gonna turn the mirror around,
Okay.
so that the mirror itself is facing the wall.
Okay. So you just are like unsettled by this, I take it, and just flip it around.
More of as a precaution to make sure that the mirror can't be used to have anything come through.
Okay, fair assumptions. Is there anything else you guys are doing before we close the curtain into this proverbial world? There's a lot of silence, so I will take that as a no.
Yeah,
We are doing
yeah,
the,
yeah, nope.
We are doing the silence.
We're doing the silence, the action of silence. All right, and that is
doing the silence itself.
yes, and that is where I will
You know
stop.
what? You know what? You know what? You know what I
Recording.
do before I go to bed? I dip my finger into a little bit of that squid ink, and I just kind of smear some symbols onto the mirror,
Yeah.
disturbing the image, so to speak.
Wonderful.
Of the belief that such things do, require a perfect reflecting surface.
All right, and I think with that we will call it an evening. For those of you who are watching our broadcast, I want to thank you guys so much for checking out tonight's stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this very interesting one-shot story of the tale of Damascus. So thank you guys so much. And again, as always, fair winds and safe travels. And yes, good night, Shadow. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please, for those of you who are following us on Twitch, stay on. I'm going to go ahead and do a raid to some other broadcasters to keep the love going. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your evening, and thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye!